Doherty didn't just fall off. He got kicked out of fame like a bad tenant. And honestly, no one's shocked because this is the same guy who made millions by being the internet's loudest troublemaker.
I'll give you 6 tickets.
6 tickets, bro? Might as well make it
6, 7.
Another one, you need to fix the driver's license, the address.
Give me a ticket for that?
Of course.
You are like a fed and a half, dog. I'll take it. Let me go. Yeah, I'm good. I'll read it. Yeah, get out of here, pal.
He built a whole brand off harassment pranks, crashed a McLaren live on stream.
Hey, oh! Go! No!
And turned every girlfriend into another prop for clout.
But his employees, they would come up to me while I was there and they said, hey, would you ever do OnlyFans? Like, you would kill it. And I was like, no, absolutely not. That's something I promised myself I wouldn't do, no matter the amount of money, nothing. I just wouldn't do it.
Now he's back at his mom's house, begging for followers like a washed-up influencer, realizing what real life feels like. No editors, no brand deals, just silence and overdue bills. And yeah, it's kind of wild to see Jack go from flexing Lambos and dripping in designer to sitting on a floral couch in his parents' living room crying about haters. Like, karma really spun the block on this one. But let's rewind for a sec, back to when Jack actually had money. Around 2017, this 14-year-old kid with a cheap camera cracked the code to YouTube fame. Be as irritating as possible. His whole method was chaos. He'd walk up to strangers, push buttons till they snapped, and film their reactions. The angrier the strangers got, the more views rolled in. It wasn't comedy. It was psychological warfare dressed up as entertainment. But the wild part, YouTube's algorithm loved it. By 2019, Jack was raking in between $40,000 and $60,000 a month just from ads. Add in those sketchy sponsorships from energy drink brands and mobile games run by people who clearly never watched his videos, and boom. This kid was clearing 6 figures monthly. For any teen, that kind of money changes your life. But for Jack Doherty, it fed a spending addiction that would eventually eat him alive. First came the mansion, $30,000 a month, rented of course, because buying meant commitment, and Jack didn't do commitment. Then the cars. A McLaren 720S for $315,000, a Lamborghini Aventador for $500,000, a couple of G-Wagons, and even a Rolls-Royce he bragged cost $400,000. And his audience? They loved it. His teenage fans believed they were watching the American dream in real time, that a kid could go from pranks to private jets just by being loud online. But what they didn't realize was that Jack's empire was built on sand. No foundation, no plan, just clout chasing and chaos. By 2022, the harassment prank era was dying fast, and YouTube wasn't paying like it used to. The algorithm had changed, and the money that once poured in started drying up. Jack had gotten addicted to luxury, but the internet had already moved on, and he didn't even see it coming. YouTube stopped playing favorites, and Jack Doherty's little kingdom started crumbling fast. Sponsors were ghosting him, ad revenue was dropping, and the algorithm had turned on him like a bad breakup. So instead of humbling himself or switching lanes, Jack found another business. And it's honestly one of the most disturbing pivots we've ever seen. He started bragging about his new talent management company, but let's be real. It was nothing but exploitation wrapped in fake professionalism. Jack was out here scouting young women online, usually 18 to 20 years old, fresh out of high school with big followings, but no clue how contracts worked. He'd slide into their DMs promising easy money through UF, saying stuff like, "I'll handle the business, you just post." But behind the scenes, it was a trap. Jack's contracts handed him 50 to 70% of their earnings while giving him full control. He dictated their posting schedules, their prices, and even the kind of content they had to make. Basically, these girls were the product, and Jack was the factory boss barking orders. Then came McKinley Richardson, the girlfriend who finally blew the lid off it all. She dated Jack for 2 years and exposed everything.
And he's trying to hunt me from the back while I'm talking to Jack, and Jack is awake. And Jack is like, bro, get out of here. Like, what are you doing? Go. And he was like, I don't give a f***, I'm fucking her right now. And I just remember waking up and hand was in my pants.
McKinley revealed that Jack pressured her into doing of content that went completely against her values, even threatening to send her home if she refused. That's not partnership. That's manipulation on a whole new level. And it gets darker. According to leaked texts, Jack played his own talents against each other, pitting girls in fake competitions for better contracts.
Me, and then he would say, like, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. I know you're my wife because I'm not doing, you don't do OnlyFans. He would tell me, I know you're my wife because my wife would never do OnlyFans.
If someone didn't hit the monthly quota, she'd lose promo or face being cut off altogether. It was like a toxic reality show where he controlled every outcome. Then came the jaw dropper. Jack himself admitted on a live stream that he was making $500,000 a month just from McKinley's content. $500,000 every month. And instead of gratitude, he bragged about it like it made him some kind of mastermind. McKinley finally had enough, but she didn't just walk away, she strategically vanished. She changed all the passwords, locked him out of the accounts, and took everything with her.
Guys, look. Me and McKinley just broke up. The cops are outside of my house right now. She just called the cops on me, packed all her, took her car, everything. Insane. Insane, bro. I can't believe I dated that for the past 2 years, bro. It doesn't even seem real. I've done everything for this girl more than I've done more for this girl than I've done myself. She's changed me so much, and I make so many sacrifices for her. You guys seen, like, I sacrificed my content for this girl. Like, I sacrificed my business for this girl. I made her my business. Like, I put all my time into her.
Overnight, Jack lost his girlfriend, his business, and his biggest paycheck. His income tanked from $500,000 a month to maybe a tenth of that, if that. And instead of processing it like a grown man, Jack hit go live. He jumped on stream, ranting for hours, showing screenshots, receipts, and rambling about loyalty like it was customer service. I did everything for her. She was lucky to date me, he yelled, forgetting that the internet never sides with a man who exploits people for profit. Jack didn't just lose his empire, he exposed himself in front of everyone. And the worst part? He thought it was content. Jack really thought he was some kind of genius, bro. He turned his girlfriend into a business asset, bragged about it like he was building an empire, and still got finessed right under his nose. But here's the thing, McKinley wasn't the first OF girl to dip. She was just the last one keeping his crumbling circus alive. The second her followers slowed down and the cash stopped rolling in, Jack realized his empire was nothing but smoke, Wi-Fi, and bad decisions. Once McKinley left, the money vanished overnight. Jack's empire started leaking cash faster than he could fake a smile on live stream. His monthly burn rate? About $90,000, while his income dropped to around $15,000 from a dead YouTube channel no one cared about anymore. The math? It wasn't mathin' at all. Rent on the mansion was overdue, the staff still needed paychecks, and those supercar payments were stacking up like parking tickets. His lifestyle was built on illusion, and now the bills were coming for revenge. Jack was desperate. And desperate influencers do desperate things. That's when he pivoted straight into the dark side. Crypto scams. He figured if YouTube was done with him, maybe he could trick his audience into becoming investors. So he launched his own coin, a completely worthless token he hyped up as the next big thing on Solana.
Okay guys, today's gonna be the craziest day in crypto meme coin trading history. I'm very excited for today. I'm holding to a $100 million market cap on live, so make sure you guys tune in. You don't want to miss it. Know which one I'm buying. I'm dropping a bag on it, and we're all getting rich together, guys. I'm not selling until it's at 100 million market.
He went all in. Flashy graphics, fake hype, bold promises of massive returns. Jack spammed every platform promoting it like he just invented the next Bitcoin. He even hired smaller influencers to shill the coin, claiming big exchanges were interested in listing it soon. And for a minute, it worked. The coin's price skyrocketed thousands of %, and Jack's Discord was going insane. Fans bragging about profits, posting screenshots, thinking they'd hit the jackpot. But the truth? It was a setup from the start. Blockchain data later showed Jack and his little crew dumped 87% of their tokens over just 48 hours. That crash wiped the coin's value by 96%, turning thousands of fan investors, mostly kids, into victims. Some even took out loans, emptied savings, or used their parents' money, all because they trusted their favorite YouTuber. By the time the dust settled, conservative estimates said Jack's fans lost over $2.8 million, while he pocketed roughly $1.2 million from the pre-sale. And the crypto world didn't hold back. They called it one of the most blatant rug pulls of 2024. But Jack didn't care, at least not yet. He moved the profits into offshore accounts, thinking he was untouchable. He even went live, joking about being too smart to get caught. But karma was already loading in the background, because while Jack was busy scamming kids and cashing out, his reckless behavior was finally catching up to him. And on October 15th, 2024, everything changed. That was the exact day Jack Doherty's entire fake empire began to collapse. Jack Doherty's downfall hit its peak in the wildest way possible. Live on stream. It was October 15th, 2024, when Jack decided to go live on Kick while driving his McLaren through downtown Miami in the middle of a Florida thunderstorm, the kind of heavy rain that makes normal people pull over and wait it out. But not Jack. He was too busy chasing content to care about safety. Viewers watched in real time as the McLaren speedometer climbed 60, 70, 78 miles per hour. Then suddenly, disaster struck. The car hydroplaned across the slick road, sliding nearly 150 feet before slamming headfirst into a concrete barrier. The crash was brutal. It twisted the McLaren's carbon fiber frame and set off every single airbag in the car. But the wildest part? Jack's reaction wasn't fear, it was excitement.
Hey, oh! Oh! Go! No!
All right, guys, I just totaled my McLaren. It is completely cooked right now. I don't know what to do. Look, all the parts are right here. I got my Tesla picking me up. This is the worst day of my life. Damn. Listen, man, I just crashed my car. I lost 200 grand. I need to make my money back somehow.
Instead of checking on his injured cameraman, he started grinning and shouting about how crazy the footage looked. The live stream kept rolling for 8 whole minutes after the impact as emergency responders pulled up to the scene. Jack, bleeding and dazed, sat there reading the chat, asking viewers to smash that like button for the crash. Like his life wasn't literally hanging by a thread. Within hours, clips from that stream exploded online. 15 million views across TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, but those views came with consequences. Kick banned him permanently for endangering lives on stream, cutting off his $70,000 a month paycheck overnight. And once that domino fell, the rest came crashing down too. Energy drink companies, mobile game sponsors, fashion labels, all dropped him immediately. Nobody wanted their brand attached to a reckless influencer who nearly killed someone for clout. Between October and December 2024, Jack lost roughly $1.8 million in sponsorships alone. And it didn't stop there. State Farm straight up denied his insurance claim, citing reckless endangerment during the making of commercial content. That meant Jack was personally on the hook for nearly $400,000 in damages, covering medical bills, totaled vehicles, legal fees, property repairs, and a growing list of lawsuits from everyone involved. That's when his fantasy lifestyle finally collapsed. The mansion, gone, the supercars, repossessed, his team fired, and Jack back at his mom's house, the same place he started, only now with lawsuits instead of fans. Some people online tried to say he was trolling or doing it all for content again, but the receipts don't lie. Jack's been spiraling for months, still scheming for cash like nothing happened. He's out here offering people money just to follow him on Instagram, writing their names on his wall like it's 2017 fan culture again. He's even collaborating with the kind of sketchy influencers nobody reputable touches anymore. That's when you know it's bad. And now, with no real income and zero credibility, Jack's crawling back to his roots, harassing strangers in public, bumping into random people with his bodyguard, trying to force viral moments out of chaos. It's desperate, it's sad, and it's proof that he hasn't learned a single thing. From McLaren's to mom's basement, Jack Doherty's rise and fall is officially one of the internet's most chaotic downfalls ever. Jack's so-called comeback has turned into a straight-up circus. He's out here pretending the downfall didn't happen, spinning his crash and financial ruin into some kind of new chapter. But the internet isn't buying it. Lately, he's been posting clips acting like everything's fine, flashing rented cars, and pretending to be on tour, when in reality, most of his content is filmed in parking lots or borrowed houses. Fans are literally catching reflections in mirrors that show different interiors in every video. It's messy. He's trying to sell the illusion of success again, offering fake giveaways, claiming he'll send $1,000 to 10 lucky followers, but the winners never show proof. Then there's his wild new hustle, fake mentorship programs. Jack launched something called Creator Circle, charging kids hundreds of dollars for personal coaching on how to go viral. But the so-called lessons? Just recycled advice from YouTube tutorials with his logo slapped on top. People are starting to post refund requests on Reddit, exposing that he never replies to customer emails or provides anything real. What's worse, he's trying to clean his image by going on podcasts pretending to be misunderstood. He keeps repeating how cancel culture ruined his career, saying things like, "I just pushed limits for content." But the hosts keep pressing him with real questions about the crypto rug pull, the exploitation contracts, the reckless driving, and Jack just dodges. He'll laugh, say, "That's old news," and try to crack jokes instead of taking accountability. The damage control just makes him look more guilty. And people aren't letting up. Former employees are coming forward, leaking group chats and unpaid invoices. One ex-editor even claimed Jack owed him $18,000 for videos that never got posted because Jack spent the ad budget gambling. Another assistant said she quit after watching him stage pranks that involved random people being humiliated for views. There's even footage floating around where he argues with his cameraman mid-shoot because the reactions weren't dramatic enough. Like, bro, how do you argue about fake reactions? The saddest part is, Jack doesn't even realize how far gone he is. His last few streams barely break 2,000 viewers, yet he still talks like he's running $1 million empire. He'll brag about new deals coming, but there's no evidence of any. No contracts, no brand mentions, nothing. The same fans who once hyped him are now roasting him in his own comment section, saying stuff like, "Bro fell off so hard he hit the basement floor, and Jack's biggest flex now is surviving another L." And despite all this, he refuses to slow down. Instead, he's doubling down, teasing some big project he claims will break the internet again. But if history tells us anything, when Jack Doherty says something's about to go viral, it usually means someone's about to get hurt, scammed, or embarrassed. And this time, he might not get a second chance to bounce back. But the internet isn't falling for it anymore. People aren't tuning in to laugh with Jack Doherty. They're watching to see how bad the crash gets. And that's the real twist here. Because Jack's downfall isn't just about one influencer losing his money or fame, it's a mirror reflecting how toxic online fame has become. It's a whole case study in what happens when clout, greed, and ego mix into one dangerous cocktail. Jack spent years selling chaos as entertainment. He showed millions of impressionable kids that if you're loud enough, reckless enough, and shameless enough, you can get rich off it. He made people believe that disrespecting others was the new definition of hustle. But look at him now, broke, exposed, and trapped in the same loop he created for content. Because here's the truth. Internet fame built on exploitation doesn't just fade away, it implodes. It eats itself alive. For a long time, Jack proved that manipulation and shock value could buy you cars, clout, and a mansion. But the bill always comes due, and when it does, it doesn't care how many followers you have. He didn't get canceled, He got exposed. Exposed by his own live streams, his own arrogance, and his obsession with attention. Every lie, every scam, every fake moment of success caught in 4K by the very cameras he used to flex on everyone else. That's the poetic ending he never saw coming. Jack once said, "You either go viral or you die invisible." And now, he's proof that chasing fame too hard can kill your career faster than being unknown ever could. Because when you treat your girlfriend like a paycheck, your fans like wallets, and your whole life like a business strategy, don't be surprised when everything turns on you at once. He tried to play the system, but the system played him right back. His audience bounced, his sponsors bailed, and the people he used finally spoke out. That's not bad luck. That's karma clocking in for overtime. So, yeah, Jack Doherty's rise and fall isn't just another influencer saga. It's a warning, a reminder that money can't cover up character forever. And when your empire's built on lies, it doesn't take long before it all collapses in front of the same people who made you famous in the first place. Now you tell me, do you think Jack can ever make a real comeback, or is this the end of his run for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.